Find the slope of the given line. Well, since we have the graph of our given line, we can use that to help us find the slope. So in step number 1, let's pick 2 points that are on our line and label them. Now we can pick any 2 points. So let's pick this point, which is the point 0, -2, and this point, which is the point 3, 4. Great. Now we've picked 2 points on our line and labeled them. In step number 2, let's look at our y coordinates. We want to find the change in y. So we want to know how many y units it takes to get from one of our labeled points to the other labeled point. Now let's start at this point, 0, -2. We just want to focus on the y coordinates. So how many y's does it take to get from this point to this point? Well, we know we need to move up, so y is positive. But how many? Let's look. Start at our point and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we get to 6, we see that we've become even with our second point. So that means that's our change in y, 6. Our change in y is 6. Now we want to do the same thing in step 3 as we did in step 2, except we want to focus on the x coordinates. So we want to find the change in x. Now we want to start with the same point that we started with in step 2. So we start with 0, -2. And we want to know how many x units we need to move to get from this point to this point. Remember, we're just focusing on the x coordinates. So if we start at this point and follow where we went on step 2, we get to here, and we're even with our second point. Now, how many units does it take to get from here to our second point? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3. It takes 3 units. And since we moved in the positive direction, 3 is positive. So that means our change in x is equal to 3. Great. Now we have the change in y and the change in x. We can find the slope. In step number 4, let's recall one of the formulas for slope. Slope is equal to the change in y over the change in x. In our case, the change in y is equal to 6, and the change in x is equal to 3. And 6 over 3 is 2. So that's our answer. The slope of our line is equal to 2.